Dex's Diner, originally known as Didi and Astri's Cafe, was one of the few civilian-held hotspots on Coruscant that regularly offered assistance to members of the Jedi Order. Before Dexter Jettster became the owner of the establishment, the original owners, Didi and Astri, were known to help Qui-Gon Jinn with intel for missions that involved elements of Coruscant's underworld, typically acquiring such information from overhearing it from their customers. Dexter Jettster continued this friendly Jedi relationship after he purchased the restaurant, becoming an informant to Obi-Wan as well as other members of the Order such as Quinlan Vos. But this relationship ultimately led to the downfall of Dex's Diner and Dexter Jettster himself, as when the Galactic Empire came into power, it sought out all civilians that were known to have colluded with the Jedi Order before their downfall. Imprisonment and executions were common to former Jedi collaborators unfortunately caught by the Imperials. Upon realizing this being the case, Dexter was forced to ditch his former life and fled to the underworld of Coruscant. His diner was eventually discovered and burned down by the Empire, with many of those who were known to have been connected to it executed as well. Dexter ended up joining an underground group known as the Erased. It was made up of other people who were slated for execution by the Empire for their collaboration with the Jedi Order. It also contained a few survivors of the Order itself. On top of hiding in the shadows for the rest of their lives, members of the Erased also made sure to remove all evidence of their past existence, to better ensure that they would not be caught. This included them disguising themselves with cosmetics or even surgery. However, despite all of these precautions made by the group, the Erased Sanctuary was eventually discovered by the Empire about a year after the Clone Wars ended. Nearly all of its members were killed on sight by the Imperials, with only a small handful escaping. Dexter was noted as being one of the survivors, but decided to leave the remnants of the Erased after their base was destroyed, believing he would be safer on his own than in a group. After saying his goodbyes to the last people he could call his friends, Dexter was last known to make his solo journey into the deepest parts of Coruscant's underworld, where he likely lived out the last of his days in constant fear from both the Empire and the criminal elements that lurked below. While Dexter's fate ended in darkness, his former diner did have a somewhat happy ending. After it was destroyed by the Empire, the former head waitress Hermione Bagua came out of hiding and went on to rebuild the diner, running it during the years of the Galactic Civil War. The Empire likely was too busy with the war to care about continuing investigations into decades-old Jedi informants, and as a result, Bagua likely was able to run the diner till the New Republic was able to take Coruscant.